Good morning, crypto Twitter is missing crypto, spreading crypto with doctors showing its benefits to my generation. Shout out to all my people, Gen Z needs to be included. It's really that simple. We are savage and baseball zesty, making money at the same time, spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z. Better change the world, so y'all better get ready. Missing crypto, I'm never backing down. I got a wax account, you should check it out. So many NFTs, I think I lost count, and I'm only getting started. Yeah, barely off the ground. Listing crypto, you cannot stop me. My hands are making diamonds, your hands won't overcome me. Never be the boss of me. Bitcoin's all I need. When I say I'm zesty, that's just me. I can understand. Crypto and yum farm marketplace. I wanna steal up in cyberspace. Leave this world without a trace. Save pay for a different day, cause we partners in the cryptos didn't stay.
Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday. Welcome back to the Miss Teen Crypto Show. Today we have an extra zesty guest. We have Tone Vays. Welcome to the show, Tone.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. It's gonna be a good show.
Yes, it is. It was so great seeing you in Miami and catching up with you. I love what you're doing in this space, and you're such a Bitcoin evangelist.
Yes, and I've been doing it for quite a while, and the work never ends because new crazy stuff is always coming out.
Exactly. Do you want to tell Gen Z and the people at home a little bit about you before Bitcoin?
Sure. So, oh man, where do we begin? Grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and there you go. Ended up studying geology in university. Wasn't a great geologist, so instead of being in the field, I was actually a high school teacher teaching math, science, and health. Ended up not liking that. Went and got a master's in quantitative finance. Ended up on Wall Street for about 10 years. Then didn't like working in building risk models anymore. Quit to be a trader. Became a YouTuber, started public speaking, and now I'm just in this world of Bitcoin.
Wow, that was a lot to unpack there. So you were actually...
Yeah.
And why didn't you feel like you fit in education?
I don't know. I just didn't like teaching high school kids that didn't want to sit there. Well, like I'm really good at teaching, but I'm not good at babysitting.
Yeah.
And as a high school teacher, you had to be able to do both.
Exactly.
But I was only good at one of those things, so the babysitting part wasn't working for me.
So were you always into math?
I was good at math. I never really liked math, but I was really bad at English. And anybody that ever I can draw, was never good at like music classes. Found accounting to be too boring. So I just went into science. I went into science and math because it's just what I was good at.
I gotcha. So how did you start were you trading before Bitcoin?
Yeah. So I learned to trade right after college, and I didn't have much money. So, but I learned to trade, and I always liked it. So anytime I was able to save some money, I would always like start trading with that. So I would always be trading on the side, and then jobs would keep you busy. So I trade for a while, and then you switch jobs, you start to get busy again, or you have more responsibility. So you go through these cycles of trading, not trading. Also, there were so many restrictions on my trading when I worked at companies like Bear Stearns and JP Morgan that it was very difficult to do what you wanted to do. Now, in my last job on Wall Street, I purposely took less money to work at a company that had zero trading restrictions. But then I was sitting there in a meeting where I have the phone like under my desk, like I'm paying attention to the meeting, but in fact I'm like day trading futures in the afternoon and during lunch and stuff like that. And trading was just a lot more interesting, and I started to enjoy travel. I didn't travel, not wasting it on fancy cars or like crazy apartments. Started traveling about 10, 15 years ago, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. How do I maintain my lifestyle while traveling, because I couldn't travel and do my Wall Street job?
Exactly.
So being a trader gave you that lifestyle. You know, you have that picture, like you're sitting there on a beach, with the drink.
Yeah.
Those that are old enough to drink, at least in this country, and you're just like trading and enjoying life. When in reality, trading is like you're sitting in a basement with like 7 monitors.
Oh,
So
it's hectic.
so I started doing that, traveling and trading, while at the same time speaking at Bitcoin conferences, promoting Bitcoin, and the lifestyle of not having a boss, traveling. That was the more important part. It wasn't the amount of money you can make. A good trader can make an infinite amount of money, but to do that, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of stress. My main motivation to quit my job and be a trader wasn't to be, in a way, like I wanted to be like, the Bobby Axelrod, if you ever watched the movie Billions, the show
I actually
Billions.
haven't.
No. Like you want to be this fancy, known trader, but in reality, you just want to make enough money not to worry about money. But for me, the priority wasn't becoming super, super rich. It was lifestyle. It was
Exactly.
enjoying your lifestyle, doing what you like. And traveling and speaking at Bitcoin conferences gave me that lifestyle. So I focused on that, focused on, I guess the term influencer is a term, Bitcoin or not.
Yeah.
I'm an influencer, but I only influence on my own ideas, not other people's ideas. Like I don't
Exactly.
promote anything other than my own stuff. So being an influencer, being known, I can like send off a tweet. Hey guys, I'm in Cairo, Egypt. Who wants to meet me at this restaurant? I can do that. A little harder for you.
Yeah, maybe.
But I can do that and not really worry about my safety too much if I'm in a public place, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm still enjoying that. So the lifestyle aspect of it, I didn't need to stress out over trading
Exactly.
to get that lifestyle. So I focused on that. I focused on the YouTube channel. I focused on speaking at conferences. I focused on promoting Bitcoin over spending time trading. But somehow that needed to be financed. No one pays me to speak at a conference. Most people pay to speak at a conference. You have a product to sell, you have a company to promote, you go and sponsor the conference, and you get your speaking slot.
Exactly. You get your part.
Right. Unless you're someone famous, like an Andreas Antonopoulos, like, guys like that, they can charge a speaking. I can't. Like, no one would pay me. They're like, why are we going to pay Tone if this token is going to pay us $20,000 to speak?
Exactly.
So, no one really pays me. I'm lucky if I get my hotel room covered. Very rarely a flight. But how do I finance that? So, I relied on my 2 skills that fit in this crypto world. My ability to teach and my experience trading. Because everyone wants to be a trader. So I financed my Bitcoin evangelism by teaching people how to trade. A lot of people don't like that. They say, I can't believe you're teaching gamblers, stuff like that. My view on it is, if you're going to sit down at a casino poker table with professionals, at least learn a little bit. You're never going to be on their level. But even spending, like driving ed as well, right?
Yeah.
Like before you get on the road, maybe take a few lessons.
Exactly.
Before you start playing high stakes poker, maybe take a few lessons. Yes, you can learn it for free on YouTube, just like you can learn how to drive for free on YouTube, right? May not be the best idea. Same thing with trading, right? Like you can learn it for free on YouTube. You may want to pay someone a little bit of money to learn how to do it from someone. It's hard to pick who the right person is to pay.
Exactly.
Again, it's hard to know who the right instructor is to teach you how to drive. Some of them can teach you very poorly. So so that's what I did. Still do a little bit to finance my Bitcoin evangelism.
Awesome. So, how did you actually find Bitcoin? How did you first hear about Bitcoin?
So I have to give a shout out to a man named Max Kaiser.
Max Kaiser, the man.
You bet.
I've been in clubhouses with him and Stacy a few times. I know that's
just got on
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Really?
Everyone left, and I joined.
I was in Clubhouse at the height of Clubhouse a few months back over the winter. It was great.
Oh wait, we should show people where we are. Hold on. We're gonna now that people are watching. Are people watching?
Yes,
Yeah,
people are watching.
All right, check this out. Boom.
Okay. We
We
are.
got wireless microphones.
Wait, is it following us? Let's go, camera.
It should be following someone, right?
I don't know. It's not following us, Tony.
It should be following you or me on. Let's try this one more time. There
Yes.
we go. Right, yep. Now we're.
View is absolutely amazing.
It's like cameras. Do it. Hold. Should be automated. Now it's not working. Too bright. I can do it manually. Alright, now we can walk away. Cool. So, the election. Was Alright guys, well, is it too loud with the cars? What happened? Let's see the audio. Oh, no one is commenting.
Yeah, no one said much.
Alright,
We should be fine.
we should be okay. Alright. Well, you guys saw the... Let's zoom this out a bit. You guys saw the nice view. Okay, so, yeah, it should have been fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let me...
Can't hear
log
anything
in
but
the
wind, they
camera.
said.
Oh, that's the problem. Like, we have wind guards, but I guess a little too windy.
I guess it's a little windy.
Alright, better
Sorry,
now.
guys.
Should be better now.
Should be better. Let us know.
Okay. Oh, I thought I looked at that. I didn't see that. Okay. Alright, so let's back up a little bit.
Yes.
Should be better now. So, I heard about Bitcoin in the days of WikiLeaks, and I like WikiLeaks. Actually, I keep forgetting. I met Julian Assange's dad and brother. I need to promote their.
Wow.
They were in Miami.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I need to get them on the show. They're trying to get more donations for Julian Assange. So, that case was the WikiLeaks was interesting, but not enough to get me involved. The Silk Road case, the Silk Road use case wasn't interesting to me because I don't smoke weed, I don't do any drugs, so no use case there. Then we get to 2013, and now the Cyprus government confiscates people's money in the bank.
That's horrifying.
And that scared me. And I'm like, wait a minute, I have a bunch of money in the bank. I have a $100,000 job here. Like, what the hell is going to happen?
Exactly.
And that got me finally Googling and getting interested in Bitcoin in those bubbles, the 2013 bubbles. And then, of course, I I get in, and then you get the giant crash right after that. So I just paid attention to it and stayed interested in it, and that kind of brought me to this day.
Wow, that's a lot. So what? So really, the banks being able to take away your funds is what really motivated you to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's when I realized that Bitcoin is the only unconfiscatable asset humans own, which is
Yep.
why I own unconfiscatable.com. So I have that domain. The word didn't really exist before, so it's kind of like a new word that now exists.
Because of Bitcoin. That's
Yes.
amazing. So, I mean, that's something that really sticks with me as well because with Bitcoin and NFTs, it's when you actually own something. We actually own our funds. We have the keys. Like, no one can take
Yes.
that from us.
Yes, and that is my number one use case for Bitcoin. The fact that it's unconfiscatable, the fact that if you have to leave your country, uh, they can't stop you. Like many
Exactly.
foreign countries, if you're going to defect and leave those countries, they will not let you take your money with you. You can't
Exactly.
leave with your money. You have to start a whole new life with just a few $100 you can kind of hide in your pocket. Bitcoin changes that. It changes this entire dynamic of being locked in your border, which unfortunately with COVID, you're starting to get locked in your border again.
Wow. It really gives you a different perspective on life. Bitcoin, what you really own, how you transact, and how you actually store your funds.
Absolutely.
Wow, that was good. How? So I know you were talking about how you were curating events. How did you start doing events? What made you say I want to do events and travel the world?
So I really enjoy traveling the world and speaking at events, but so many events are just bad, and I realized that events and conferences, when you go to a conference to learn something, you assume that the person standing on stage is an expert, when in reality, the person standing on stage is a salesman. 90% of the time, the people you think are experts are salesmen.
Yep,
And
unfortunately.
there were almost no conferences that had every single speaker is an expert. And he's not there to sell you something, he's there to educate you. And there was maybe one in the crypto space at the time that I started my conferences, and that was Baltic Honey Badger in Riga. The only other ones were these scaling Bitcoin conferences, but they were too technical.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I need to do a conference where speakers are hand selected by me, and the only reason they're up there is because they're experts and not because they sponsored the event and have a product to sell. And that led to another conference called Understanding Bitcoin, where we teach people how to use Bitcoin, set up nodes, things like that, trying to do it in Dubai now. And then another conference is called the Financial Summit, and that one came about because, as I mentioned earlier, for a couple of years I was kind of financing my life by teaching people how to trade. So I created a bunch of traders. And those traders, some of them don't trade anymore. Some of them went on to become very profitable. And there are always funds that manage people's money. And those funds are always interested in new ideas and new traders. And young traders may be interested for resources like coding to automate their strategies or more capital. Or they want to work with more professionals, or they want to work with someone that will help them spin off their own hedge funds. So I wanted to create this event for hedge funds and traders, but I wanted to make it high level event where they're not no one is a beginner. So that's why this event takes place at very exotic destinations, very expensive resorts, like $1,000 a night, and they're small. They're more networking events. There's no speakers. It's you put a bunch of traders in a room. You put a bunch of high net worth people in a room interested in finance. You put some hedge funds in a room. Exchanges are interested in showing up. And this is the Financial Summit networking event that we will do as often as there is demand. to get 30 to 40 high-quality financial individuals for 6 nights in a secluded location.
Wow, so you're trying to get the top people in the financial industry in one spot to
Yeah.
talk about cryptocurrency.
Well, not necessarily cryptocurrency. What happens is I want to make this event investment and trading agnostic. But
Ah,
because my entire audience is crypto, it kind of defaults to crypto. So once the event becomes more known, I want to branch it out to traditional markets because the crypto people have a lot to learn about traditional markets, and the people in the traditional markets have a lot to learn about crypto. And hopefully, this event can bridge that gap.
that's so smart, bringing both industries together so that we can all see each other's point of view, understand one another, and how each market actually works. That's perfect. So, you're still planning on traveling right now?
Yeah, planning and doing are two like interesting things. So, last year before COVID hit in March, between January and March, I was in New Zealand, Australia, Bali, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Mexico, and South Africa, where I was as COVID hit and I had to fly back.
Wow.
So that's what I did in the first, and I did my own conference in Las Vegas on Confiscatable. All that got done in the first 3 months of 2020.
Woo,
And then the rest of 2020 got stuck in the basement,
pretty much,
unfortunately.
as we know. Yes.
Now, 2021 kicked off with I can't stay here anymore. I can't stay in the US anymore. I'm done. I'm going to go nuts. So I flew out to the one country that whose president hated COVID as much as I did, and that was Tanzania, Africa. Tanzania and Zanzibar. Zanzibar is an island off the coast of Tanzania. Wind's picking up again, but we should be okay.
Yeah, we should be fine. Look us up for good, guys.
Yes. So, also, right closer, but I think we're pretty close to place.
Yeah.
And so I spent about 10 days in Tanzania and Zanzibar. Really enjoyed it. No one cared about COVID there. No one was wearing masks.
Wow, that's nice.
And then from there, I flew out to Dubai. And I spent most of this year in Dubai because at that time, while Dubai did have a mask mandate, which I don't like, especially in a desert,
In the desert, yes.
at least they were smart enough to say that if you're exercising, you don't need the mask. So if you're bicycling from place to place, you don't need a mask, or eating or sitting down. But they were, at least all their businesses were open because the United States was still mostly shut down. So I spent most of that time in Dubai. I was going to go to Europe, but they kept locking down. I went to Turkey, but they ended up locking down. So I came back to the U.S. and went to Mexico. Mexico is pretty COVID restriction free as well. I'm going back to Mexico in about a week.
Nice. For a conference?
Yes.
Nice.
First, I have to stop by the People's Communist Republic of California for a few days, and then I'll drive down to Mexico. So I'm trying to travel later this year. I'm going to go back to Dubai. I'd love to go to other places, but we'll see what happens with the COVID lockdowns and restrictions.
Yeah, hopefully, we meet up in Dubai one day, ride a camel or something.
Yeah.
Have fun. Oh my gosh,
really
I've
actually
always
a lot
wanted
of
to do that. It
A
seems
lot of
fun.
fun.
Dubai, maybe go pick up a cute Rolex or something. I'm just kidding. But Tanzania is a very nice place. I actually have a Tanzanite.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually really awesome. Tanzania, the amount of gems and beautiful things that come out of that place.
Oh yeah, I mean that's where you have Mount Kilimanjaro, one of the
Yep.
biggest mountains to climb. You have Ngorongoro, a safari. You have the Serengeti safari, and Zanzibar is beautiful. It's kind of almost like Bali with like gorgeous beaches.
So I know you've been to all these places. So what's next for you? What do you think is your next big plan or next big event?
I don't know. The world is changing so fast. The next thing for me is deciding what's going to happen in the United States politically, socially. Is this the place where I want to be associated with into the future? And I really got to wait probably till the next election to see what happens politically. My family fled Soviet Union back when it was a communist regime. I was young when that happened. And we'll see if I want to do the same. So lots of decisions to make in the near future. where to even live. Will we have freedom of movement to travel? I love to travel. It's great. Maybe it'll be different when I have a family of my own. I'll still try to travel somehow. Hey, if Bitcoin goes up high enough, you can travel in your own private jet.
Exactly.
That's the future, right? Bitcoin and crypto in general is creating so many new millionaires
Exactly.
and eventually billionaires that the dynamic of the world's going to change.
It's a new generation of wealth.
And those with wealth make the rules.
Those with wealth make the rules. That's pretty deep, Tone. That's pretty deep. So, just to wrap up, is there anything you want to let the audience know? Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, just check out anything Tone Vays. Watch out for scammers. They are everywhere. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, be careful. If I DM you and I'm asking you to invest in something, that is not me. I do not ask people to invest in anything, not mining, not trading. I don't do follow the leader groups. I teach people how to trade and make their own decisions. I do not provide direct trading advice. I just want to educate people so they can understand the markets better and then decide what they want to do. Other than that, check out the conferences. Unconfiscatable is coming back to Las Vegas in March. Tickets for Understanding Bitcoin in Dubai should go on sale probably in a week or two. That will happen in October. The Financial Summit also in Dubai in November. See if you can make it out to Dubai finally, October, November.
If I was able to go to Dubai, I would 100%
NFTs are huge there. I'm still skeptical, as you guys know. I'm skeptical of anything not Bitcoin, but the altcoins, the NFTs, DeFi, Dubai is definitely exploding with all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a perfect combo. I know there were a lot of good summits going on in Dubai right now.
Yeah, October is like their blockchain month.
That's so awesome.
I'm not kidding. I am speaking at 6 conferences between October 10 and October 20, the rest of October. Like the last 2 to 3 weeks of October, I'm speaking at 6 events so far.
Wow, that's a lot of events.
Yeah.
Good for you, Tone. That's amazing. I hope I could do that one day as well. Just travel the world and educate people. Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you everyone for joining us today. This has been a very zesty episode of the Miss Teen Crypto Show outside Teen and Tone on the shore. So if anyone wants to find me, please come find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Clubhouse, YouTube, all at Miss Teen Crypto. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the absolute best. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday. And of course, stay zesty.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys. Thanks for watching.
Good morning, crypto Twitter, it's Miss Teen Crypto, spreading crypto, adoption, showing its benefits. So to my generation, shout out to all